Hello, everyone. It's Saria here. I just had my autism assessment, and I got diagnosed with autism today. He also said I needed to come back for an ADHD assessment. And a lot of folk have been asking me how I did it. It took 5 months from the day the doctor sent the referral until today, using the right to choose path with Psychiatry UK. So I want to share with you what I did so that you can easily do it, and then you can follow the path of diagnosis. Throughout my life, I felt very different, very weird. It actually makes me quite emotional. It's been a long, long journey. So let's go through the steps. First, I started to become aware of traits that were happening for me. Because I went on an autism parenting course, and I was able to explain a lot of the things that were happening for people because that's who I was. And the folk on the autism parents course just said, oh, they just thought I was autistic. I've never been diagnosed and didn't even think I was because I follow so many of the female traits. So if you are if you have female autism or female ADHD, it's quite different to what the typical boy symptoms are. And it's really worth Googling female autism or female adult ADHD. And then you can see the symptoms that are there that look and appear different to the kind of typical autistic boy or ADHD boy. I was basing that on, myself on that, and I didn't fit that criteria at all. So let's go through what to do. The first thing I've shared in the comments, so you can follow that as well if you prefer written word. The first thing is to do the 2 tests or 3 tests. There are 2 for autism. One is let me remember what it's called. The autism quotient test, and you want to screenshot your score as well as the list so they can see exactly where your sensory issues or social issues are. And then you want to do the Aspie quiz as well, and you want to copy the screenshot of that and put it into, I just used a Google Doc. And you want to look up the traits of autism. I'm sure you already have, and seen, oh, wow, a lot of those relate to me. And then I went through a history of my whole childhood. This took me hours. It wasn't a quick thing. But it was fascinating and really validating for me of going, no wonder I'm like I am. My whole life makes sense. So I just went through, like, from birth to now, of the things that I remembered, and I just structured it in age. But you could also structure it if you have a look at the DSM-5 of, if you just Google autism diagnostic criteria or ADHD diagnostic criteria, and then you can see you need a couple of each of the different things in there. I had 100%, like every single trait that was there. So it was quite easy for me to just go through. I did it per age rather than looking at the diagnostic traits. But if you do the diagnostic traits, it's quite a lot easier for the psychiatrist. So I did a Google Doc for autism with the test scores and the test, so they could see what was happening for me. And then I had all the traits that I saw throughout my life. I just went through. My memory isn't that good, but there were core things that happened, like the carpenter at the school that I was at made a box, a wooden box, so that I couldn't leave my chair at school. My son today was saying, Mom, that's utterly archaic, but actually really effective for you, because you couldn't move around and you couldn't get distracted by other people because you couldn't see because of the box. That was because of the sensory issues that I had. So I had, like, that was a really strong memory, but I can bet that there were memories for you. Like, I always had memories of lining up pencil crayons in a line and like counting as I sharpened them so that they were each the exact same amount. But it was more because now I understand that the classroom was so noisy that I was trying to control a level of sound so that I could cope with the reality of what was happening. So you want that in a Google Doc and make sure that it's shareable, that anybody can see it, or those who you share the link with can see it. And then you want to go to the Right to Choose Facebook group, and you want to get the letter from the doctor or to the doctor, where you go through in the letter and you share the legal basis for you asking for a referral. So I had already been referred to the neurodivergent services, and I said, I haven't yet heard from them, and I would like to exercise my right to choose because Psychiatry UK have shorter waiting lists, and it would create less stress. And then the Psychiatry UK or Right to Choose group has a letter that goes directly into all the steps of what to do and what to say in your letter. And you can just literally copy and paste that. I just emailed it to them. And then I emailed my Google Docs that I had on each one so that you could go, they could just see the Google Docs. And the doctor just sent it to them. I had already had an appointment with the doctor, and the doctor had said to me, write a list of all the traits that you feel that you have and then bring them back to me. I didn't make another appointment. I just emailed this to him, and he did the referral for me. So I sent him 3 documents. I sent the autism test and results and history, the ADHD test results and history. And then I also sent, which you'll see above there, I just edited my details out of it, but I wrote the letter that the doctor would email to Psychiatry UK. So it was just so simple for them to copy and paste it and to attach my 2 documents and send it off to Psychiatry UK. Then Psychiatry UK have a portal where they have all the information, and they will email you and text you with any updates. Then you get a form from them. It is a long procedure. You get a form from them that you need to share with a parent or somebody who knew you in childhood. Some people don't have that, and that's okay. They accept that a lot of people don't have that. And then there's a form for you. It is a long form. It took me a whole day to do. For some people, it might take setting an alarm and doing a little bit a day. It depends how you work. I just get into that sort of hyper-fixated mode and do it all at once. It did take a long time. It was not quick and easy. And then once I'd filled in the form, you update it in the Psychiatry UK, and they do a weird thing where they call you and say, we've got an appointment next week. And I just said to them, I can't take random calls without knowing it's you, because I get into a panic getting random calls from calls I don't know. So can you please update it in the psychiatry profile, and then let me know that you're going to call. And that worked. So now, yeah, they did that last week and said that I had an appointment today. And then the actual assessment was really easy. He just went through each diagnostic criteria and said the majority of them I'd already filled in my assessment. And he said, I need to come back for an ADHD assessment. It is so different in different countries. And it won't work anywhere else, except this is just the UK process, because there's such a backlog. Like when I got my letter from the NHS, they said it was a 4-year wait in our area. I didn't want to wait 4 years. And this just took a few more steps to be able to get diagnosed with Psychiatry UK, and the NHS accept that diagnosis, obviously, because they've referred it. The whole assessment took just over an hour. It was 70 minutes, going through each criteria of how it impacted me in childhood and how it impacted me now. And he shared some really revealing, insightful things into my life and what I needed to do for my well-being and self-care. But I'll do another video about that. If you've got any questions, just ask in the comments and I'll come back and answer them. But I've written the whole process above there. It's worth joining the Right to Choose group if you're in the UK and asking questions in there and getting support and getting the diagnosis. Why get diagnosed? It's so worth it to understand your life of what has happened. Know that self-diagnosis, if you don't feel like going through all of this, self-diagnosis is completely valid in yourself. The only thing that you don't get is that having a diagnosis, you can get access to work or personal independence payments. Access to work is a government process that helps you to get either coaching or it helps you to get accommodations or executive functioning support. And personal independence payments, or PIP, helps you to be able to pay for a cleaner or offer things that are a struggle for you because of the executive functioning of autism and ADHD. So it's worth getting it for those and to just validate yourself of the experience that you've had living in a neurotypical world where it's been a lot more of a struggle. So I hope that helps. It took a long time to do that. It literally took a day for each thing that I was doing. So a day to do the test and write up the history of autism, same for ADHD, and then a day once I had got the forms for autism to fill them in. So if you struggle to do those sort of forms, I would find somebody else who's in the same position or a friend and ask them to body double with you so that you're both working together at the same time. I have a friend who I body double with every day. We body double for like an hour a day. He has ADHD, and it really helps to have somebody to work with to get things done of admin tasks that neither of us enjoy doing, but it helps being able to say, this is what I'm going to do in the next hour. This is how it's gone at the end. So it's worth finding somebody who you can do that with so that you can support each other. Years ago, before I had any awareness of autism or ADHD, a friend used to say to me, can I just come and sit next to her while she does her counts because she hates doing them? And I'd never experienced that before. And I loved doing it and seeing her get things done. And then I tried it for me and it really helped me to get things done too. So I hope that helps. And I'm sending you so much love and good luck with your diagnosis. Love to you.